Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, then welcome. My name is Allie, and in this video, I'm going to be decorating my main living space for Easter. I'm just going to be adding in a few neutral, natural touches that feel very organic and earthy, but bring in Easter in a nice, fun way. I don't go over the top when it comes to Easter decor, I'll say that up front. So really this is a mix of my regular spring decor that I added in some Easter touches. So in this video, I'll share with you my main living space and what I do to bring Easter into this space. I'll bring you guys out into my covered porch and share with you guys some little Easter touches that I add there. And then I'll just be doing some small little vignettes around my home, like my coffee bar area and my kitchen counters. Again, my style is very neutral, very natural and organic. So if that's something that you really like to watch, definitely stick around. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you have your notifications turned on, and please give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I really love hearing from you guys, so I appreciate your comments and your likes so much. I hope that you find some great ideas in this video. I'm excited to share them with you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we are going to get started in my main living space today, and I have some videos that I recently did where I went into more detail for how I styled this space, but you can see I swapped out some blankets for more breathable patterns for spring, and I've got some spring pillow covers. I am right now very carefully working around my cat Olive, who has planted her flag right there in the middle of the couch. And as any cat owner knows, sometimes you just have to work around your cat and do the best you can when they've claimed their spot. So now that I've got the couch refreshed, I am just showing you guys what it looks like before I add in those little Easter touches. So this is currently our mantle, and these are our new bookshelves and couch area. And I'm going to get started working with our mantle. So I have this really neutral burlap little banner of bunnies. I've had it for the past few years now, and I got it from Amazon. I'll link everything for you that I can down below. But I always like stringing this up on the mantle. The kids always get excited every time they see it, and I really like that it blends in really nicely with my already existing decor. And then I have this beautiful little bunny wreath. This is something that, again, I got from Amazon several years ago, and the quality has just stayed. All I really need to do here is fluff up those ears and the little bow around it, and just maybe fluff up that little hydrangea for the bunny tail, and it looks so good. And it's survived probably 4 or 5 Easters at this point. So I'm just placing this up on top of the mantle and just very gently leaning it against the candle holders. I love that it invites the season of spring and Easter, but just leaves the aesthetic feeling very neutral and very natural and organic. So now I'm moving down to the lower side of the hearth of our fireplace, and I have these two really beautiful bunnies. They're statues that my mom picked up from Home Goods, I think it was last year, and I really just like the etching that they have in them, and they're really sweet and cute. I love the detail of the little butterfly at the tip of this little bunny's nose. I always love adding a little seasonal touch to the bottom of our fireplace because I feel like it just really anchors the entire vignette. I think that it just adds that nice touch of Easter there, ties everything in, and looks beautiful. Moving over to the new bookshelves, I dedicated an entire video to styling these shelves. I am just still so in love with them. And as far as Easter goes, I have this beautiful frame that I added that printout, which I got from Etsy, and I did another dedicated video sharing exactly how to source and download and print things off of Etsy. It's super easy and they're very inexpensive. So now I'm just adding these two little bunnies. I found them at Home Goods. They were in a set of 2, and it was an immediate add to cart because they're just so adorable, and I could just picture them sitting on the bookshelves. So I added one in the top right shelf of the bookshelf, and then another one toward the middle a little bit lower, and that just kind of creates that zigzag pattern that I talked about in my bookshelf decorating video. It's just a really nice cohesive way to tie things together. I love that they are metallic gold because I think they just add the perfect subtle accent and detail and pop of Easter. And now the living room feels complete to me. I've added a few touches in those key areas. I've kept everything nice and neutral and natural feeling, and overall I'm just really happy with it. I love turning on the candles. It makes things feel nice and cozy, and as you can see, I have some candles mixed inside the bookshelf as well. And especially at night, This just creates a really warm vibe. I love the ambiance it creates, whether we're just hanging out at home, just my husband and I after the kids go to bed, or if we have guests over. Overall, it just creates a really nice vibe.
And that's why I couldn't make it today to our coffee shop.
Moving over to this little area in our hallway downstairs, I have this beautiful antique vintage bench I sourced from a thrift shop. I absolutely love it, and I really love adding little touches when the seasons change or there's a holiday coming up. So I purchased this little bunny. He's like mid-hop, and I found him at Home Goods last season. So all I'm doing is sliding over my candle holder there, and I added this little patch of moss, and I'm adding the bunny to the moss. And adding that moss really helps him to stand out, and it also adds that textural layer. It adds something that just feels softer. So I liked doing that there, and now I just slid over my stack of stone candle holders there on the right next to the vase. And with that pop of green from the hydrangeas and the natural element of the moss, everything here is tying together beautifully. Sometimes just a little touch of something or one small item can really make a space feel cozy. So I really like that one little bunny just made our hallway feel nice and fun and warm for the season. So now I'm headed to our coffee bar area. Don't worry, I'm gonna hide that unsightly cord there on the left. But I'm starting on the right with this large vase. I'm just tucking it into the corner. And since it's a pretty tall vase, I wanted to add some stems, but I like that these cascade down. So I didn't, of course, have room for something that stuck up there, and it kind of felt a little bit cold to me to not include the stems. So that cascading one just adds that softness, but also scales correctly. I have my chapati board, and you might notice if you watched one of my more recent videos that I used this vignette on the edge of my kitchen island, and I love it so much, but it was getting in the way of where my husband sets up his laptop when he works. So I was more than happy to move it over to the coffee bar area. I love it with those candle holders I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and then that little wooden striped bunny, which helps to complete the look on the right. So on the left side, I'm adding in that black riser, and I have this set of canisters. They're a set of 3 that I grabbed from Amazon. I really like to incorporate function when I'm thinking about decorating, and it always feels natural and organic to have items like this that we use. So these are just some dried oranges that we use and some cinnamon sticks if we're smoking cocktails when we're entertaining. And then I also like to have those cocoa rolls that are in the taller container. Those are really great to put on top of a cappuccino or in a cup of coffee or maybe even some ice cream. And then I like to keep the spoons out. Again, it's just another natural element that is functional as well. Picked up this piece of chai art from TJ Maxx a few weeks ago, and I just think that it ties the colors in beautifully. It also helps to hide that cord, and I love that it has a cinnamon stick in it because it all goes together really nicely. So this is the completed look of our coffee bar area. Heading over to our kitchen area, this is the area to the left of my stove, and I'm going in with some layered cutting boards. Now I found this marble cutting board at Home Goods recently, and I really love that inlay of the flowers, and their petals have all different color tones in them of metallics. I just think it's so pretty and adds that nice little pop of shimmer amongst all the natural and organic materials. I have this little bunny candle holder, which was a Home Goods find a few years back, and I'm just adding in a battery-operated candle, and I have my lamp and succulent to the left, and now this section is complete. I also picked up a bouquet of fresh tulips from the grocery store, and they are just perfectly in bloom right now. I think they look gorgeous. Adding in a simple bouquet like this is just such a beautiful way to spruce up your kitchen for springtime. mentioned earlier that I had my chapati board originally set up here with a little vase on it and those gorgeous candle holders. So instead, I swapped it out for this Happy Easter sign. And this is just sleek enough, simple enough, but just brings a fun little Easter element to this area in front of the beautiful vase. Heading out to our covered porch area to just add in a couple of touches. I did a video recently again on this space, so if you want to go back and watch that one, I'll link it for you down below. But today I'm just going to be adding in a few key items to areas to just signal Easter and mix that in along with the already existing spring decor. I love these gorgeous ranunculus in the center of our coffee table. I really like the way that our console table turned out for spring. So I'm just going to start by adding this Easter sign. It's just a wooden sign, and I'm placing that in the top center of our mantelpiece. And then I have these assorted eggs. They're in all different springtime colors, and I really love the metallic wash that they have on them. It just adds a really nice detail, a nice subtle pop of metallic mixed in with all of that natural moss. So I'm just placing them in and around the planters that I've already styled on the hearth of our fireplace. I really love adding moss at the base of lanterns or in planters. It's also just so great for spring. It's an excellent filler, and it just brings that other element of texture and layer to a space. Just helps to bring it to life and make it feel more full and well styled. So if you have a space that is feeling maybe kind of flat, try experimenting and just adding a layer of that Spanish moss or any moss that you can find really. And green is such a natural color that it also just helps to calm things down and bring a really relaxing feel to your space. Heading into our front room now. This is like our cocktail room, our hangout room. I have this gorgeous vintage bar cart. It was my grandmother's, and after she passed away in 2020, she was 94 years old, I inherited this cart. So I always like to just add a little seasonal touch. I feel like it's kind of just me saying hello to her and honoring her in a really nice way. So I have this really adorable set that spells out Easter. It's these eggs sitting on top of little spools, and she also was a seamstress. So I think that this is just such a nice nod to her, and I love the little delicate birds that are sitting atop the A and the T. If you guys caught my DIY video, it's my spring DIYs. I created this wildflower wreath that I really just love for the season of spring, and I didn't want to change it out. So all I'm doing here is I'm adding in this little wooden Happy Easter sign. I'm just sort of draping it over the hook there and adding it, and I find that it just adds the perfect Easter touch to my front door, and I didn't have to make any large changes. I didn't have to store another wreath and swap it out. Sometimes just adding in something to your existing decor is enough to invite the holiday or the season. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that you learned something from it, that you got some great ideas for maybe adding some little Easter touches around your home, some spring touches. I really love sharing these with you. So if you did find this video helpful and if you learned something from it, please leave me a comment down below and let me know what that was, and give this video a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe and make sure that you have your notifications turned on so that you don't miss a video. Thank you again so much for being here. I will see you next time. Take care.